Right, he's gone, boys. Thiago Green's gone.
We're proud to be Yorkshire. From North Sea to Cornwall, we call it all home. We're proud to be Yorkshire. From States to Totley, straight through Ripon and Otley. We're proud to be Yorkshire. From North Sea to Cornwall, we call it all home.
Right, before we get into it, I'd just like to say a big thank you to Alec Sharp and Darren Milstead. Two new patrons on the channel. Thank you very much for your support. We've now got, I think, 24 patrons on the channel again, so they're getting up to really good numbers again. Your support is helping not only me, but the family out as well, just to live our lives a little bit better. And it's also a little bit of a reward for me for the amount of hours that I'm putting into playing Football Manager, editing, recording, Discord, Twitch, everything. There was a lot of late nights, so when you guys dive into the Patreon, it really does give me that little bit of a boost. So thank you, boys, for your support. You will get yourselves a regen in Yorkshire or Nothing. Right, let's get back to today's video. All right, boys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Yorkshire or Nothing, my Creator Club series with my Athletic Club Bilbao kind of version. Basically, Athletic Club York, a team that I've created in the game, big arch rivals of York City Soccer Club, a billionaire soccer club from across the city. We're, however, only allowed to sign players born in Yorkshire or have come through our youth system. Since the last episode, we have moved on a considerable bit. Now, if you can remember, things were going well. We had Conte Ball, we'd just picked up big wins against Southend, as you could see, and Solihull Moors. And then that happened. I must admit, this was one Friday afternoon. Ralphie was off with COVID. He was chilling. He was fine. He was playing. And I just wanted to play some Football Manager. I thought, right, I'm going to kick on right on to the end of the season. So then when I come back, we've got promotion in the bag for you guys to see. We'll have a review of the season. And it got worse and worse. And then you do that thing where you're just looking for a tactic. It just completely fell apart. And in the end, we drew. We didn't even qualify. We didn't even qualify for the first. We didn't even finish second or third, which was our minimum aim. We ended up finishing about fourth, losing the last two games of the season. We then played Chesterfield and 17 shots. They scored 87th to equalise. They scored a winner in 118. We started really well and then just completely fell apart. So that wasn't great. I'll show you the league table from last season. There, we ended up finishing fifth. Decent in terms of points. It's been in and around it. But once again, not enough goals scored, really. 77 and 54. Too many goals conceded. So we needed to change things up. We needed a big plan. It was difficult because of the transfer kind of embargo we've given ourselves. But in terms of finances and the big debt. Now, if you look at our finances are the best they have ever been. Well, since the money kind of dried out, look what it was up until our lowest point was there, minus 800,000. The board chipped in with 400,000, and then we've I was forced to sell Thiago Green. Thiago Green has gone to Wimbledon. Now, the deal is 850k up front. I was wanting over £1 million. I must have rejected 50 bids for him during last season. And he finished the season with us, to be fair. He's got himself at Wimbledon. We got 850k in the bank, but the sales have not ended there. The one that I'm most disappointed about is Tinubu. Tinubu was an absolute superstar for us last season. In his breakthrough season, 709 playing as a box-to-box, 750k, potentially rising to 1.1 million. Once again, because of the financial problems, the board said yes. I had no say in it. I didn't even realise he had left until I was looking for him at the first game. No, one of them, maybe not the first game of the season, but last game of pre-season. And I realised he wasn't in the squad, and I thought, oh shit, something's gone down. I flicked through the old messages because I don't read all the messages, and he went just like that. And that was not the end of the sales altogether. Oliver Casey, our best centre-half, has also gone to Wimbledon. We got 140,000 for him, which I had to accept anyway because that's what we had for a non-promotion release clause. And at the same time, he had a fantastic season for us, but he was on £3,500 a week. He's actually taken a pay cut to go up to where the League Two, I'd have thought. No, Wimbledon are in the Championship. He's taken a pay cut to go into the Championship. We will follow Tinubu. We will follow Thiago Green as much as we can, especially Thiago, because he's a bit of a cult hero. I was hoping to maybe we may get him back. We may be able to land a loan deal at some point. But yeah, super frustrating that we've lost our star centre-half, but it just freed up. It's eased the burden financially, I think, for us. And then also on the outs, Louis Jones, I transfer listed. He was on £1,000 a week. I decided I wanted not to cash in. He's gone to Norwich. I can't imagine him playing. He'd be like their under 23s or third choice goalkeeper. But the idea was that we got rid of him because we have two excellent homegrown young players. Oakley Cannoneer has also gone. He was just too cheap. The value for him was 200,000, which was way too much. But because of contracts and stuff, his wage was over 2,000 because it kept going up in increments. I haven't focused enough on contract deals, and that's a big, big lesson that I've learned down at this level. Is you've really got to focus on yearly wage rises and how long you offer contracts to, especially for players that are getting on the end of sort of like the early 30s. So Oakley's gone once again, freed up a lot of money in the wage budget. And Jack Robinson, he said he was leaving on a free transfer anyway, was going to be on the bench, and we got 100 grand from him from Birmingham. So that was pretty good financial. I think that was a good move, basically. So 100 grand in. That left us really, really short. Jack Stott, the loanee, didn't want to come back, but we have made some moves in the transfer window. Now, is there any other players released? So Burrell left. He's now retired. Falkenham's left. Now, a coach, we got him back. He's quite a good coach, actually, to be fair, in terms of determination level and motivating. Probably an assistant manager, probably. Nathan Dyer as well, one of the lads that I used to coach when he was little. He's gone. And Billy Leach as well, another player that we'd never played. I only got him because he was another lad that I used to coach. Anders Olston as well has left, and he's gone to Althorn Town. Quite good, just wasn't at the level. So, you want to see the players in, and I think we've had a really good transfer window. Now, we needed to heavily strengthen in certain areas. The first player in, and I'm surprised we got him so cheap, was Jake Young. He wanted to play as a striker, but we are playing the Bielsa ball 4-1-4-1. We're doing it. We're sticking to it. It's worked really well. We've got better players. He's got pace 14 as well. We were lacking that little bit of pace in wide areas. We've got him from Forest Green. Didn't play much last season, but has started really, really well for us. Looks really good in pre-season. He can play both sides. He can do a job up front as well. Really good signing. And more importantly, only £825 a week. That's why we signed him on a big deal. There was other League Two clubs after him. I just thought if we offer him a long deal, $825, we can probably carry his wage over those 3 years. He's only 25 as well. And because his wages are quite low, it means that we're probably able to sell him on, get rid of him if he doesn't quite make the grade. So Jake Young was in. He was the first one through the door. We've got Mputu back as well, who was the loanee. We've got him back. He's going to be our first choice left back this season. And then other transfers, Lee Denton is going to be our first choice centre half. He's not quite at the level yet, but we are going with him to really turn him into a superstar. 19 years old, capped at England under 18 level. Released from Sheffield United, excellent physicals, mentals are getting there, heading not great, marking not great, tackling not great, but he's made a really good start to the season. 3 games, 7.47 at the age of 9. He's going to be 20 soon, but once again, pickings, it's getting more and more difficult while we stay at this level to find some quality players. We so need to get out and given the opportunity to spend a little bit of money. Sean Richies is a 17-year-old. I've only got him because he's 6'4". He's bow-footed. He can pass a little bit. He's a backup centre-half for us. Released from Barnsley. Look, he's probably not going to be a superstar. He's potential 3-4 star. Just someone, £110 a week as well. 4th choice centre-back. Just someone to help us out across the season. Bobby Carroll is in 1.5, not 1.5 million. £1,500 a week. He's signed a 1-year deal. Coming quite late. He's quite versatile. He's got a nice few little attributes in terms of his pace, determination, work rate. He's going to be good in that centre midfield, especially when we're asking the players to do a lot. And James Banks is an under 23 striker we've bought in. We've paid a bit of money for him, even though he's finishing his 5. But he was highly recommended, and he's been released from Leeds United. I just thought it was worth a little punt. We've not had much through in terms of the youth system. So the squad looks like this. Now, what we have done is we've really pushed on some of our academy graduates, a whole host of them. So my new number 1 is Paul Cullenbarney. patron on the channel, by the way. Paul Columbani is our first choice. He's the Gibraltar under-21 keeper. Had a year out on loan, did really well. I thought, let's go with him. He's wanting first-team football. He probably was better than Louis Jones in some positions as well. So I thought, right, let's trust him. Let's do it what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring through as many youth players as possible. And Paul Columbani is our number one. George Mackay, another patron on the channel. He's going to be our sub-keeper this season. Need to give him a few little games across the year. Chris Harold is just a very basic right back. Someone who's 6 foot. He can do the basics. He probably won't play much. Probably a couple of sub appearances and that, but just bolsters the squad. Probably our third choice right back. We've still got Mark Fairhurst. Bids are coming in. Look at that. Left, right and centre. Everything is around 500k. It's getting really annoying that I'll reject a bid from a club and then the same club will come back a week later with the same bid. Really frustrating, really annoying, but we've managed to keep hold of him. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried that if it starts going up towards $1 million, he's going to disappear. I think I have promised him as well that he can leave at the end of the season. I think that's what that promise is for. Yeah, ensure he's sold at the end of the season. So it's probably our last season with Mark Fairhurst, but I'm hoping that we can get up towards £1 million and then this year he can have a really good season with us. Another of the youth players is Marko Mudrinski, 18-year-old Serbian, come through the youth system. Is he born? Where is he born? Is he probably born in Serbia? He's born in Malo, but he's Serbian, and because he came through our youth system, look, we can use him, and he's done pretty well in pre-season. He looks nice in that half-back role. 6 foot. He's still only 18 years old as well. Ball-winning midfielder. His mentals are really good. His physicals are already getting there. Pace not great, but natural fitness, stamina. 6 foot. He's going to have something about him. Marking, passing are good. Free kick taking, first touch is okay. A lot of these statistics, I think, attributes will get up into the early teens throughout the next 2 seasons. So I'm really looking forward to see how he develops. Nice little backup to having Osterfield in there. Windass is still with us because, of course, no one wants him, which is a bit of a shame. Paul Elliott, another patron of the channel, someone who's quite versatile, can do both sides. He just got himself his first goal for the club as well. £500 a week he's on, 20 years old, come through our youth system, been out on loan, didn't do amazing, but we've got him. He's looked okay, 12 pace, 20 years old, a little bit of a backup, but someone we can use, can work both sides, which is really important. Joel Staker, now he's not kicked on as much as I wanted, in particular his technicals, his crossing. He's got 4 crossing and he's supposed to be a winger. Only still 19 years old, so he's not 20 till the end of the season. 6'2". This was the Dutch guy, but he's now decided he wants to play for Ghana, so he's registered with Ghana. Still probably time for him to change. Mental's okay. I was just wanting a little bit more of him, but I thought, right, let's get him in the squad. There wasn't much around again in terms of transfers and stuff, so we're giving youth a go this season. We're really going to push it this year. And then we've got Phillips, who's the main man, already scored 4 goals this season, and Jack Marriott is still with us. He had a nice little end to the season. He picked up an injury, was the main man for a little bit, scored a couple of goals. I think he scored like 4 goals in like 5 games, and then got an injury, was out for 2 months. And yeah, we're just going to use him a backup. It's his last year this year, and that's another 3,100 will be off the wages. Windass is on 2,700 off the wages. So we've lowered it a bit, but we'll lower it even more next season just in case we don't get promoted. All right, so the tactic we are going with is the 4-1-4-1. I'm really impressed with it. I'm going to bring in the other Bielsa ball as well, just so we've got the opportunity to really just change it up, because this video has been involved in a tactic tester and it has done really well. So I'm now thinking, do we go proper Bielsa ball? Tactic that I did with the video, complete forward, register. It's proper. It's a little bit more attacking. So we may look at that at some point. But just for now, this tactic is giving us good control in games. We're not amazing in terms of goals and battering teams. To be fair, 0-0 away from home at Eastleigh. We've beaten Sutton 4-1. We've just smashed Solihull 3-0. So maybe it's going to be our season. Let me know what you think. We'll keep an eye on Thiago. Let's give him a round of applause. Great servant to the club. I don't think he became... I think Kieran Phillips is our leading goal scorer at the club, but someone that we will, fingers crossed, get back during... Maybe not this season. We may get a loan deal in for him because he's in the Championship with Wimbledon. So I can't imagine him playing too much. We may be able to get him back at a cut price. We need to get out of this division. I'm really enjoying this save. But I know for you guys at home, I imagine some people have already switched off. Some people never switched on. But some people will be switching off now because this is our 4th consecutive year in the Vanarama. We've had 3 playoff defeats. This needs to be the season. Right, we're playing Scunny at home. Let's go. Right, I just thought I'd show you. I didn't actually have a look yet to see. I always like to see where we're at in terms of wages. I think it's always a good indication with how strong you expect your team to be. Salary, we've got the 2nd biggest salary in the division. We are one of the big boys here. We are one of the big boys. We've made a lot of money. We've got 149,000 to spend. We've got 6,400 available in wages. York Soccer Club are still in League 2. But their money is dwindling and they've not reinvested. Now, interestingly, Batchelor left during the first season. The guy that I built the series around has disappeared and moved aside, and someone else has come in with the money. But I'm not quite sure if the dream for York City Soccer Club is going to take them to the Premier League before this money runs out. Now, they've been quite clever. A lot of the wages, they've not continued on the trend that they had by, these players here. Now, when did Drager come in? See, Drager's been there a few years now, and a lot of them, these ones have all been 3 seasons, the big boys. So once these players go, they'll reinvest the money a little bit better. Look, the end of the season, wow. Look at the amount of players. They've got a huge squad, by the way. They've got Tom Carroll. Nice. They've got a lot of players leaving. So that'll be a big change around for York City next season. And they have started okay. They've found their level. They really didn't do well last year. Where did they finish? 7th. So they even missed out. Oh no, they were in the playoffs. Playoffs, isn't it? 7th is the playoffs. 4th last year. So they'll be up. No doubt they'll be up and among it this year. But chances are we may be with them this year. Right, here we go. Team is going to pick itself. We're going to go with Elliot on that left-hand side. Young, wide areas. Mumputu, Fairhurst, Hull and Denton, Cullen Barningle. Osterfield, one of our longest-serving players, is in half-back. Rakonza is still going strong in the middle of midfield. Central midfielder on attack. Hackney Mazzala. Phillips on, the lone striker. And we've got Kashoza, Downing still here. Mudrinsky, Marriott and Bobby Carroll. And then people not in the squad today. Obviously, Mackay, the subkeeper. Richies, Harold, Stake and Windass. So we've still got a balance. We will use Windass. He can still do bits for us. He is very, very versatile. But we just want to make sure we give some of these players games ahead of him. I tell you what we are doing. We're going to play Windass. No, we're not. We're going to put Staker on the bench because we want to give these young kids a go this season. We've made a good start to the season. I don't want the wheels to fall off during an episode. We've looked extremely strong, extremely controlled in the way we've been playing. Right, let's go. Right, Mputu. Denton. Osterfield. Hull. Denton. Back to Elliot. Very good start. I want to see control. I want us to pass teams to death. That's what I want. Right, Hull. Oh my God. Pass the teams to death. And then as soon as I say it, we give the ball away to the other team and they score from what was that, 30 yards? Fucking hell. Oh dear God. Will we ever get out of this division? Because last season I wrote it off in like March, just the way we were playing. I was like, there was no way. And I thought, right, we'll get to the end of the season, we'll get into the final, and if we get to the final, I'll do an episode. And then obviously we lost in the first knockout round, as what we've done for 2 years in a row now. Right, Elliot, he's found some space, he's fired it onto the bar. The youngster, that was a big chance. Big chance. Right, Denton heads it down to Rakonza. Hackney. Hull. Don't give the ball away. Denton. Osterfield, just big. I wanted Tinubu as my central midfielder on attack, and I'm really good because we played with him all pre-season. He did want to go, and I was going to do the same. I was going to let him go at the end of the season. Give me one more year, because you'd only had a year in the first team. And I said, the board, I've done the dirty on us a little bit. I thought we could have survived without having to sell him, but it wasn't to be. Hackney is in. Oh, we've done really well there. We create some lovely goals by keeping the ball. Pass, and then we finally find a chance. We've had 10 efforts on goal, 0.91, 62% possession. I do want high possession stats this year. We've just got to dig in and demand a little bit more. We're into the 60s. Right, what we are going to do is we're going to change it up. Not in terms of tactic. We're just going to go on to a full Bielsa. But we are going to keep that as a pressing forward. I do want that central midfielder on attack. So to be fair, the only real change is going to be Osterfield as the register. Right. Fairhurst on it, the youngster. Down the line for Jake Young. I think it's Jake Young. Hackney had a big chance in the first half. No, we're going to get it back. We do. Fairhurst. Young. Osterfield. Fairhurst. Osterfield. Going all the way up. We're keeping it. Hackney. Are we tiring him out? Phillips. Young, he's in. He's good in front of goal. He is good in front of goal. He's got his first proper goal. He did score a fair few in pre-season. Some really good goals in pre-season. We had a really good pre-season. I've said pre-season a lot there. We had a very good summer in terms of performances in pre-season. You might have seen the results anyway from the start of the season. I didn't talk about them, but he's done really well. Grabbed a few goals. 1-1. That is deserved, I would say. So I'm going to praise it. Right, I'm just going to do a change. We've got a few players just struggling a little bit. We are going to bring Mudrinsky on as the register. We're going to go Jack Marriott, just to give him a game. And then we'll also go Bobby Carroll on. Triple change. 3 players that have all done well. But just to give us, we do tire a little bit in this tactic. Even though we've had a lot of the ball. So we shouldn't be that tired because they've done most of the running. Right, Mudrinsky, Fairhurst, Hackney, Young, Mudrinsky, Fairhurst, Hackney, off the bar again. And it's cleared. Right, we're coming into the last 5 minutes. We've played well. We deserve a victory. Hackney now going. He's not going. Oh, he has got support. Marriott running through. Dink him for me, Jack. He hasn't. Jake Young's going to get there. He top hooks it in. We are 2-1 up and we have deserved that. I'm getting a little bit aggressive because last Friday was a rough day for Trek. I banged this table and I can always remember Ralphie coming in saying, "Did you drop something, Daddy?" And I said, "No, I've just punched the table." And he said, "Why?" And I said, "Because Football Manager is rubbish." And that's normally our excuse, isn't it? When something goes against us on FM. Not my fault. It's not the fact that I changed my tactic 5 times in about 10 games. It's all down to FM screwing me over. But I think, this season is going to be our bloody season. Hackney's getting into great spaces with this Mazzala. Cross it. Mudrinsky. Love that name as well. Fairhurst over the bar. I think we're going to see it out, boys. We're into the last few seconds. Scunthorpe would be one of the bigger teams in the league as well. There we go. We've turned it around. We've deserved that. They've only had 5 shots. 0.15 XG. We've had 21. 62% possession. Look at that in terms of XG. That is a really, really good performance. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash a like on today's video. It'll be muchly appreciated. And we'll see you later on tonight for DNA. There is a channel update video out tomorrow. I would encourage you just to go and watch it. Nothing's happening with this series. I love this series. I want to keep it going, but just go check out the video tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Go and look after your mothers. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Take care. See you later.